what we do in 80/20 REI is we try to give the best data possible for our clients. We do work on exclusive basis per market because our data is that good, and we don't want to oversaturate, because if I have unlimited clients, it will lose a little bit of the value. We have a limited amount of users that we allow per market, and we help with the data, but also we help with the marketing cadences, which is, I think it's one of the biggest and most important things. So we always start with the buy box, making sure that you have a really strong buy box. Then we identify within your buy box, what are the sellers that are most likely to sell at a discount, right? Okay. So that's great. Now you have a really good list. But how you use it is also super, super important, right? Because we help you identify your property avatar or your buy box. We capture the hidden gems in there as well, but now we also give you a blueprint on how frequently you should call them, how frequently you should mail them, how frequently you should text them. Depending on the marketing channels that you're working with, we're able to give you those guidelines for you to really just go in and execute your marketing, right? So we're giving the data plus the guidelines on how to execute.
I want to underscore something from my perspective that I think is unique and refreshing, because I've worked with services and spent a lot of money on high quality data throughout the years, but it's always been a service where I pay and they provide what I'm paying for, which is basically a spreadsheet, right? A list of people that are most likely to sell in my market. But that's it. I've never heard of, I think one of the things that's unique from what I'm hearing is that not only are you providing the data, which is what people are paying for, but you're also helping them develop a buy box, right? What I call an avatar. And then you're giving them the cadence and the frequency. Hey, these are the marketing channels. Hey, this is the cadence in which you should reach out to these people. So I don't want to call it coaching. I don't know if it's consulting, but you're guiding them. And it's not just, hey, check your inbox. You have a zip file with a very, very large spreadsheet, right?
Yeah, so it's a little bit more than that. We don't do the marketing for our clients, right? But we used to. We used to do cold calling and texting as a service until December last year. And at one point, we were sending tens of millions of messages per month for other real estate investors. And we learned a lot from that process, right? Well, one of the things that we learned a lot is how frequently to text. We text once a day. We tested everything that you can possibly think.
Knowing you, I believe that.
We tested everything, but on top of it, we had the entire feedback loop because we were processing the responses. So we were learning from how good our data was and how frequently to use it to maximize the returns on that. And that's what we pass on to our clients. It's that knowledge. And now we stopped texting 9 months ago. But now we continue leveraging the feedback that we get from our clients. Are they using our guidelines? Are you using a different cadence? If you are, what are the results? So we're constantly measuring to get better and better and better. It never ends. It can always get better. We're always trying to get better. But that's the point. If we work together, we like to think when we work with a client, it's a collaboration, right? Yeah. We do provide a service, but the more information you can give us, the better we can get.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Do you guys determine when you work with a new client, right, and you help them develop the buy box and you talk about, hey, this is, based on your buy box, this is the cadence, this is the frequency. What ultimately determines that? Market, I would imagine, plays a role in it. What the marketing budget, I would imagine, plays a role in it. Their goals, talk about some of the things, how do you ultimately help somebody determine, okay, here's your buy box. This is what I suggest are the marketing channels. This is the cadence, the frequency, et cetera. How can people start to really figure out? Because it's one thing to have a Ferrari. It's another thing to understand how to drive it, right? 100%. And I think that's one of the things that's very different that I see with you guys is that you're selling them the Ferrari, but you're teaching them how to drive it. You're teaching them where to drive it.
Exactly. Well, a couple of things from that, right? So the buy box, we were very surprised when we figured out this. At the beginning, we would say, hey, this is the options that you can do, and you build your buy box. Tell us what you want.
Okay.
And we thought everybody knew what they wanted, right? But what we learned is about 80% of our clients, when we really looked into their buy box, it wasn't really aligned with the deals that were happening in their markets. So one of the things that we added maybe a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years, I don't remember exactly when, is what we call a reverse buy box. So one, we'll give you guidelines of what's happening in your market. But two, I want to take all the deals that you've done in the last 2 years and we want to reverse engineer them so we can really zone in on a really good buy box for you.
I love it.
Right? That's what we do today. So again, we're always trying to evolve. We love getting feedback from our clients and we're constantly adding based on that. So understanding your buy box is super important, but having the capacity and the bandwidth to look back at the deals and figure out where the 20% of the property features that are giving you the 80% of the revenue, it's so important. So we help with that. And then on the marketing is a feedback loop that we like to call. It's working closely, seeing the results. We start for the marketing recommendations based on their budget, right? So how many postcards are you sending today? Are you comfortable with that number? Because we can find, if you're sending 30,000, 40,000, 10,000 postcards a month, 100,000 postcards a month, we can find the best properties for you to continue doing that. And then after a few months, we can say, hey, look, based on the results, I will recommend you cutting that down a little bit. Maybe if you have the budget, we can increase that. We like to start where they are today so we can give them the best data for their needs. And then little by little start improving based on that.
I love that. So you customize it. It's not a one size fits all. What works for me may not work for somebody else in a different market. I mean, so I like the fact that you guys start with, hey, what are your goals? What are you looking for? And then you kind of customize a plan that works there. The other thing, man, if people were watching this video and not listening to it, you saw me smiling when you were talking about the reverse buy box. That's what I called deal autopsy years ago, that I did a presentation to now a mastermind that you're a part of, where, again, we tracked those 60 something data points and we looked at the deals closed in the last 24 months and we were able to slash almost 2/3 of our marketing budget and just focus on hitting the homeowners and the property types and the property owner types of the deals we were actually closing. We were marketing to zip codes, Jesus, and you know some of these areas in Miami. We were marketing to zip codes where we never did a deal. Why are we marketing to those zip codes? We don't even have buyers looking for deals there. So if you just start to get a little bit, I don't want to say smarter, but if you just take a step back, instead of a kind of spray and pray approach with your marketing, actually look at some of your data from the past. If you just go back and start looking at the deals you guys have closed in the past and start to try to corral your arms around the data with regards to the deals you've closed, trust me, it's going to help you slingshot that much faster in the future with regards to the marketing budget and the deals that you guys are doing.